Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 11 January 2024, Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel. And a knife sale we shall have. Before we get into the meat of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video, so you can read them at your leisure. If you are new to this weekly sales event, you want to be familiar with those. It'll make your purchase experience go much more smoothly. Also, in the description, at the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel. The first one is entitled A Primer for Buyers. That goes along with the terms of the sale if you're a buyer. It's a 38-minute expanded explanation of those terms. It explains how we do things and why every Thursday night. The second link is pertinent to you if you're interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and it explains how everything works from the consignor's perspective. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in that all-important description, you'll see those 3 links at the top, then the terms of the sale in the middle, and at the end you'll see the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In that pricing column, you're generally going to see 2 numbers. The one on the left of the slash is the price of your knife as shown in the video. The price on the right, as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be next day sharpening available for the first 5 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. Those will ship tomorrow, Friday the 12th, with all of the as shown inventory that sells tonight. If you fall outside of that first 5 and you want your knife sharpened, no big deal. It's going to ship in less than 3 weeks, most likely. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that right-hand column, the knife you're looking at has been bought and paid for by its new owner, so no need to send an inquiry or an I'll take it for anything marked sold, all caps, exclamation point. I think that's it for the preliminaries. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we've got just 3 leftovers from last week, and here is the first one. We have a knife from Superlativ. This brand is a joint venture between Javi Garcia, Enrique Pena, and Jared Oser. The knife inside, by the label on the box, is the Piranha, with a dark blast titanium handle and a blade in belt satin of CPM M4 with full serrated edge. Here's the knife. Kind of a gent's folder, a little bit of oil seeping around the screw heads there. No clip on this knife, so bottom of the pocket or in a slip would be your carry method for this one. Has an innovative magnetic lock system. One rare earth magnet there and another one there, and as you swing out, the blade comes with and everything settles in. And it usually takes a sec. I'm not sure why, but it kind of takes the knife a little time for the blade to find its full lock position. There we go, dead solid. So blade length is 2 5/8. A very sexy little blade, don't you think? Handle length is 3 3/4. How is it in the hand? Pretty doggone nice. I get all 4 fingers on in a saber grip. And then to close it, it's just the reverse of the same process. Now there is a little bit of spotting on this handle. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up. I guess a function of that dark wash finish. But it's a never used knife, so we'll call it near mint in box. And by the way, the centering is dead nuts on this knife. When these were available new, and they are no longer, they were $285. We ran this one last week at $220. It didn't sell. Dropped it to $195 for the weekend. This week's price, and I believe this is going to be a last and final. I think my seller has indicated it's not going any lower. $175 on the Piranha from Superlativ Knives. Next one, no box with this one. This is from Spartan Knives, and it is the Harsey designed Enyo, E-N-Y-O. A little minimalist fixed blade. Skeleton handle that has been cord wrapped. Comes with a Spartan helmet bead. Flat dark earth Spyderco, they call it. Got a little bit of soiling right here, which that finish will do. More from the sheath than anything, I suppose. S35 VN blade, 3 inches in length. The handle's 3 3/16. Kind of a low, flat grind. Kind of a harpoon spear. The sheath is Kydex, has a belt loop attached, and then a beaded chain for neck carry, which I would imagine most of you would use. When it's all together, zero rattle. So we'll call it near mint, no box. Price of these brand new, and they are currently available, is $165 at your favorite web retailer. We ran this one last week at $125, didn't sell, dropped it to $110 for the weekend, still here. Let's do $95 like it is. $120 with an TheApostleP Edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 5. Next up, and our last leftover from last week, is from SOG. It is the Ultra XR, which means it will feature the SOG Ultra Lock, which looks a whole lot like a Benchmade Axis lock. In fact, it's basically the same lock. S35 VN blade in a gray finish. You're going to notice just a little bit of coating wear right at the break line from the flat to the primary bevel. Super thin stock, I'm thinking 3/32. I haven't measured it. The handle scales are a carbon fiber over G10 laminate, I believe. Are they? No, they're not. They're solid carbon fiber. I lied. The clip will be ambidextrous tip up deep carry, and I think it's really sort of designed to be a money clip knife because of its super slim profile and the clip design. There is some vertical play in this Ultra Lock. So I would imagine the way the tang of the blade is made, there's just not enough material there for the locking pin to be without play at its fully forward position. So that play is there. No side play though. Action is just fine. The centering hard to see, but it's dead down the middle. Blade length is 2 13/16. The handle is 3 9/16 in length. We'll call it excellent in box. Coating wear and play noted. These are available new at your favorite retailer for $120. We ran this one last week at $75. Dropped it to $60 for the weekend. Your price this week, $49. $74 with an TheApostleP Edge. So that's a heck of a buy on that knife. And by the way, that vertical play will affect the function of the knife by exactly 0. Next up, onto the fresh stuff. And we're going to start the fresh stuff with another one from SOG. This knife is the Terminus XR. And we sold one of these last week in a different colorway. This one is a stunner. Check that out. Yeah. This is a carbon fiber over G10 laminate handle. Also featuring the Ultra Lock, but with sort of rectangular slider buttons, which I kind of prefer to the stud type. So it opens with studs and it flips. Ball bearing pivot. Gold coating on the blade. Gold thumb studs. Gold screws. Gold clip. That clip is going to be ambidextrous deep carry tip up. Gorgeous little clip point blade in S35 VN. Blade length is 2 13/16. The handle is 3 9/16. Let's see. Rock solid lockup. Ball bearing action is quite squared away. Centering's pretty much perfect. As it's sitting right now, it might favor the right just slightly. Condition on this will be near mint in box. You can buy one of these brand new on Amazon right now for $103. On this one, let's do $70. All in, shipped priority mail. If you want my edge on it, $95. Next day sharpening is available. That's the SOG Terminus XR LTE in gold and carbon fiber. Next up, got one from Artisan Cutlery. Going to look very similar to a knife we ran last week. This is the 1707 GS-BU small shark. We ran a full-size shark last week. This one, a little bit of a, I don't know, a little more of a gent's knife. Same knife, except smaller. Just like Mini-Me. It's exactly like the full-size shark in every way, only 1/8 its size. No, it's actually bigger than that. Here we go, guys. S35 VN blade. 3 1/8 inches in length. The handle, 4 inches. Blue anodized titanium. Is a titanium frame lock with a steel inserted lock face, engaged thusly. Clip is tip up, ambidextrous with a fill tab, milled titanium. Pivot, ball bearings, opening mechanism, flipper. Flips great. Gorgeous carbon fiber inlays on the show side. Lock up, dead rock solid. Action is beautiful. Centering's perfect. Very near mint. There's one nick. Where was that nick? Right? See if I can find it. Right there by my thumbnail. See if I can get the light to... Right on the corner. Very small. So very near mint in box. A little nicer cosmetically than the one we ran last week. Price of these brand new on the interweb. $165. Let's do $115 on this one. $140 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Artisan Cutlery small shark. Next up, I believe this is the least expensive knife in the sale. It is from Civivi. Let's see. It is the C905C McKenna, designed by Elijah Isham. A cute little front flipper. G10 scales, ambidextrous tip-up deep carry clip, front flipper. I think I can actually do this one. Yay! Little sheep's foot blade in D2. Blade length 2 15/16. Let's see if I got a scratch or a smudge there. I guess it was just a smudge. The handle length is 3 13/16. The mechanism is a stainless steel liner lock. The pivot is ball bearings. The action is beautiful. The lockup is early but solid. The centering looks about perfect to me. Condition like new in the box. These are on sale right now at Knife Center for $46. Plus tax and postage, I'm sure. This one, all in $30. Shipped priority mail. $55 with an ApostleP edge. That is the McKenna from Civivi. Next up, try to get this all out of here without knocking everything over. We got a Kershaw, and it is made in the USA. And it is a side folding automatic. Whoa. Let's see, this is very similar to the Launch 12 we sold last week, except this one's bigger. And with a gray hard anodized aluminum handle, ambidextrous tip-up pocket clip, carbon fiber inlay. There's your button lock mechanism. Thwack! Oh! An awesome bayonet ground CPM 154 spear point blade. 3 7/16 inches long. I think this full size of the pattern is a little better in the hand because you can actually use the sort of self crossguard in the handle. Very cool. The handle length is 4 3/4. The lockup is solid. The spring is strong. The centering is perfect. Thwack. Yeah. It is like new in the box, designed by Matt Diskin. Out of stock currently on all web retailers. When they were available, they were $120, but you can't buy one. You can buy this one though. All in, shipped priority mail for $95. If you want my edge on it, $120. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Kershaw 7150 Launch 8. Next up, oh my, the Rob's Pick comes early tonight. This is such a cool knife. So what we got here, guys, is a Benchmade Bailout. Now, this one started its life as a 537 GY-1, which would have had green aluminum scales, and then that funky Bailout backspacer that sticks way out the back of the knife with the carbide glass breaker on it. We don't have that on this. We have custom scales and a custom backspacer. Check that out. I'm not sure who the manufacturer is of these scales, but I'm about positive they are black hard anodized aluminum, and it's been carried a little. We got some smudging. And look at that backspacer. Flush and blue anodized. I can't tell if that's titanium or aluminum, but the way it took the ano kind of looks like titanium. I'm not sure. The clip, as configured, is going to be right hand tip up deep carry. No lefty holes on this one. Axis lock mechanism. And that awesome, speckly, gorgeous gray Cerakote on that CPM M4 blade. Tanto profile. And I've always loved the blade shape on the Bailout. Yeah. So the blade length is 3 3/8. The handle's 4 7/16. The lockup is dead rock solid. The action is free and smooth. The centering's pretty much perfect, although you'll see that the factory sharpening at the tip a little asymmetrical. That's okay, you're probably going to have me sharpen it anyway. So, if you bought this knife brand new as configured from the factory, it has a MAP pricing, web retail of $270. This one, near mint, in box condition with the custom scales and backspacer. We're doing $200, like it is $235 with my edge, and in my opinion, it's the coolest Bailout I've ever seen. Just so you know. That's the Rob's Pick for tonight. Next up, I watched one of these go by a few weeks ago. In fact, I've watched all of them go by. I'm having a very hard time. You guys are going to want to move on this one quickly. That's all I'm saying. From Benchmade, it is a 535 BK-4 and a -2 box. It is not a -2. It's a -4. That means you get sort of a set of scales that are hard anodized milled aluminum, and look at that sunburst pattern. But they are hard anodized in what I'm going to call a natural finish. Black hardware, red standoffs and thumb studs, parkerized shorty deep carry clip ambidextrous tip up, axis lock mechanism. This has a DLC blade, and I got it a little smudged because I cleaned the oil off of it so you could see it was DLC and not Cerakote. I generally just re-oil and wipe. Look at that beautiful lockup. Not quite a free dropper, but flingable. Kind of hydraulic feeling. Zero blade play. Centering is dead. Condition is very near mint. In box. Just so you know, 3 3/16 blade, 4 3/16 handle. Near mint, wrong box. Map price on these, brand new, $270. Let's do $210 on this one. 240 with an TheApostleP edge, and the blade is M390 in case I neglected to mention it. There you go. Next up, this is a pretty cool knife. If you like the Benchmade 560 Freek, but you hate the handle, here you go. And you don't want to pay super Freek money, here you go, Benchmade 560 Freek. The factory scales are in my hand with no knife. Got a leather lanyard. Not installed is a Lynch titanium deep carry clip. Installed is a Benchmade Parkerized split arrow with another leather lanyard tied, and a set of scales by Applied Weapons Technologies. OD green hard anodized aluminum, a little bit of carry wear on the peaks. Just makes it look cooler, I think. So here you go. Ooh. S30V blade, 3 9/16 inches in length. The handle's 4 11/16. Axis lock mechanism, locked up like a bank vault. Beautiful action. Centering's perfect. Condition, we'll call it excellent. Excellent to near mint in box, and it has been used and sharpened. Oh, there's another Parkerized split arrow in the box, by the way. So the Freek, in its original form, discontinued and out of stock. Map price was 115 bucks, and then I bet you'd probably pay, what, 70 bucks for the scales-ish? But this one we're running at $110. 110 like it is 135 with an TheApostleP edge. Next day sharpening available. That's in your inventory. Is Benchmade 560 Freek plus custom scales. Next up, got one from Real Steel, and I think I said in my teaser video, it's like an OG Real Steel, if there is such a thing as an OG for a Chinese knife. It is the H9 Hakin, H-A-K-I-N. Kind of a basic large knife. Look at that, kind of a rooftop profile on the black G10 scales. The clip, right hand tip up. The mechanism, liner lock, disc opening. And I think this is on Teflon because I couldn't see if they're phosphor bronze washers, but I don't think they're ball bearings. Rock solid lockup. Long sheep's foot blade on this one. 4 3/16 inches of 14 C28N steel from Sandvik. The handle length is 5 1/4. There's your lockup on the stainless steel liner lock. Action is silky smooth. Centering is perfect. I think this one's been, yeah, this has a polished edge on it, and it does not need my work. It is very, very sharp. Discontinued, not a stock. They were 54 bucks web retail when they were available. This one can be yours all in, shipped priority mail with a super squared away edge. 40 bucks, shipped priority mail, no need to sharpen. The Hakin from Real Steel. Okay, we've reached the point tonight's sale for the classics, both modern and traditional. I think we got a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of them. And we're going to start with a beautiful piece from SOG. This is going to come with no box. This is the SOG Air. Made back in the early to mid 90s. They produced this knife from 91 to 96. Has a Zytel handle, a midlock mechanism, pinned construction, right hand thumb stud only, very strong spring. Needs a wipe. I just fingerprinted it opening it up. Blade steel on these was AUS 6. The blade length I think is 3 1/8. I forgot a character as I typed my copy. I believe that's correct. The handle is 4 1/16. Rock solid lockup, although you can move the back spring by pulling up, okay? But it's rock solid. Nice free action, but the spring is tight. You're not going to flick it open. Centering is off to the left very slightly. Condition on the Seki City Japan made SOG. I'll show you the blade tang. There it is. Condition will be near mint, no box. Sold listings on eBay. These knives have sold recently between $75 and $120, and I believe that $75 one was a combo edge, which will generally bring less money. This one can be yours all in, priority mail shipped, $60 like it is, $85 with my edge. Next day sharpening is available. That is the SOG Air Midlock, made in Japan. All right, if you thought that was cool, it's about to get cooler. Because look what we have here, boys. This is the Spyderco C03PS Hunter. Produced between 1983 and 1993. And I want you to look at this closely. If you look on the clip side, where the scale would be up against the inside of your pocket, virtually no wear at all. There is some carry wear on the show side scale. If you wanted to refinish that, it would be so easy because they're just flat slab sides. Midlock mechanism. Dang, strong spring. The blade I need to wipe is a full SpyderEdge in Gen 1 steel. 2 7/8 blade, 3 7/8 handle, and I've never had one of these that wasn't, but the lockup is stunning, stunningly solid. The action, look at that. Centering, pretty much perfectly centered, but it's kind of hard to tell with the chisel grind for the combo edge, but it's buttery smooth action. Man, what a beautiful piece. No box with this one. I'm going to call it excellent to near mint. Carry wear only. Sold listings on eBay between $120 and $130. This one can be yours. $70 shipped priority mail, and you do not need me to sharpen it. That's the Spyderco Hunter, stainless steel, full SpyderEdge. Next up, I teased you guys about these next two knives yesterday. These are legendary and they're not super expensive. These are Winchester black box knives. The first one, the W15 2921. Coffin jack. Now for those of you who don't know, these knives were made, I believe, in the early 90s. They were made by Queen Cutlery, Titusville, PA. Chief designer and basically the plant manager at that time, one Bill Howard. I just want you to look at this jigging, or you could call this pick bone. It's stunning. Very, very, very dark brown. Look at that. The bolsters, coined, lined. The end caps are chamfered. Federal shield. It's a coffin jack, so a little bit of swell center and that faceted end. Pull weight, strong. Strong, 7.5. Walk and talk, beautiful. So a spear and a pen. These were stainless steel, probably 420 HC, can't remember for sure. Main blade is perfectly centered. The pen is favoring the left. Condition, very near mint. Closed length is 3.5. Found one sold listing on eBay for this exact knife at $130. This one can be yours. $90 like it is. $120 with my edge. That's a piece of history right there. The W15 2921 Coffin Jack Winchester Black Box. Next up, got another one. This is the W15 2851 Winchester Black Box Gunstock. There you go. This brown a little lighter than the Coffin Jack, but again, the jigging is exquisite. Plain bolsters and end caps, but the chamfered end cap, and notice the gunstock profile. Closed length just 3 1/16, kind of a baby gunstock. Main spear. Just simple. Beautiful walk and talk. Pen secondary. Beautiful. We'll say perfect walk and talk. Centering's close. The pen is actually closer than the main. Again, made by Queen, Titusville, Pennsylvania. Bill Howard knives from the early 90s, I believe. Sold listings on eBay run between $75 and $120. This is a very near mint in box example. Let's do $85 like it is, $115. I sharpen both blades. That's the Black Box Winchester 2851 Gunstock Jack. Next. We have us a case Barlow, boys. A gently but well used knife in Appaloosa smooth bone. Look at that. Yes, this is the A62009.5 Barlow in CV steel, whatever carbon steel they were using at the time, I'm not sure, probably 1095. Main clip, some very light spotting. It has been lovingly sharpened, but the blade's still very full. Half stop knife. I'm going to say that's an 8.5 pull. Stunning walk and talk. Pen secondary, and that's a hard pull on that, but not because it's bound up. Check out the walk and talk. That's some gator snapping right there, boys. 3 3/8 closed length. Very nice blade centering. The pen might favor the left slightly, but beautifully made knife. Beautifully made knife. Produced in 1979. Sold listings on eBay, and there have been several between $62 and $137. This one's a beauty. No box. Let's do $70. Shipped priority mail 100. I sharpen both blades. The case A62 double knot 9.5 Barlow in Appaloosa bone. Next up, man, what a beauty this is. Look at that little serpentine Whitla in Stag from J.A. Henkel's. Don't know when this was made, but it's a serpentine whittler, not a split back. It is a split back. No, it's not a split back. Very interesting. Those springs look like they have a taper, but it's a catch bit whittler. All nickel silver hardware, including the liners. Kind of a Federal shield. Everything's on cam tangs, about a 7 pull. Clip point main. The closed length on this is 3 9/16, so a little smaller than a GEC 38. Let me get both of the secondaries open. These are on cam tangs as well. A little pen and a little clip. The reason I want those open is so you can see the catch bit mechanism. That helps the back spring work with 2 blades on this end and 1 blade on that end. Little secondary clip and pen. Cam tangs, but nice. Nice walk and talk. Blade alignment's pretty nice, not quite perfect on the main blade. A little bit of rubbing going on, but beautifully made knife. We'll call it near mint, no box. Your price $70 like it is, $110. I sharpen all 3 blades. It's the J.A. Henkel's Stag Serpentine Whittler. Next up, what a cool knife we got here, boys. We have a Cigar Stockman, and check it out, Ward's. So those of you under 50 aren't going to know who that is. There used to be a department store chain called Montgomery Ward's. They sold guns and they sold pocket knives with their own brand made by very, very good companies. This one probably made by Winchester, and I think when you look at the bone, that kind of reveals it, doesn't it? In fact, there's one of the black boxes which Queen made using old Winchester bone. See what I'm saying? And this is a superb pocket knife. 3 11/16 inches closed length. Apparently stainless steel blades. Main clip on a cam tang. Walk and talk nice, but not quite perfect. A little bit of flushing with oil would do well on this knife. About a 7 pull. Center blade is a sheep's foot. Third blade is, if I can dig it out of here, is a pen. Nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. What a beauty. What a beauty. Here's the cool thing. They're not going to kill you for price. We're going to do $80 on this one. $120 with an TheApostleP edge, and that's a pretty old knife, guys. I would guess probably back in the 70s, maybe the 60s. The Ward's Cigar Stockman. Time to turn the page. I kind of saved the best of these classic traditionals for last. Here you go. Just take a look around this thing for a second. I see a sleeve board handle. I see plain nickel silver end caps, a plain nickel silver oval shield that is pinned. You can see the pin. Small pins. One massive back spring, brass liners. Wood covers. Everything looks beautiful. Guess what? This is a William Rogers sleeve board jack. Carbon steel spear main. It's got some funky looking patina. It ought to. They made these knives between 1890 and 1930. Cam tang. Nice walk and talk, about a 7 pull. Very smooth. Pen secondary. That one had a little bit of a pit and somebody's tried to polish it a little bit. What a beautiful knife. 100+ years probably old. We'll call this excellent. No box. Blades align pretty nicely. Look how everything congresses together. We're going to do $145 on this one. $175 if you'd like it with my edge on both blades. That's the William Rogers sleeve board jack. Opposite end. Gorgeous piece. Next up, it's time for the fixed blade portion of tonight's sale. Kind of broken into 2 parts. First up, we got one from Bach Riva. The reason for that label, it lived most of its life in Europe. That was a retailer label. It's a Bravo 1 and CPM 154 in American walnut with brass pins. This comes in the Skin Bender Leatherworks designed sheath produced by Bark River, however. So you can scout carry, you can vertical carry. Everything is removable and configurable with Chicago screws. It splits the belt loop on your pants so it will not slide around. You have that handle protector flap which is kind of silly because on the inside that rivet does touch the wood. I don't know. Anyway, this is a ramped and jimped Bravo 1. A little bit of storage patina on the CPM 154 blade. Basically, that is protective lubricant that has been sitting there with the knife in the sheath, and it's just kind of there. Not really any corrosion. So you got 4 1/4 inch blade, 4 13/16 handle. It feels warm and sweet in the hand. Let's see. Edge seems to be pretty virginal. We're going to call it excellent to near mint in box with just storage lube patina. Your price on this one, $180, like it is $205 if you'd like it with my edge. That is the Bark River Bravo 1 Walnut and Brass. Next up, a knife you don't see very many of from Bark River. It is a Bravo 1 Field in CPM 154. This comes in the old standard Bravo sheath. It is also going to include a fire steel. That doesn't look like a Bark River handle on the fire steel. And guess what, guys? That fire steel's been used. It predates the knife because the knife really hasn't. And here you go. So what makes a Bravo a Field, I believe, is that you have a flat jimped spine. Look at that. Natural canvas, brass pins and lanyard tube, and green liners. Same 4 1/4 inch blade, same 4 13/16 handle. This one is in CPM 154. Very near mint in box, and I don't really see any edge wear, but I will say the factory edge, not like it would be if I sharpened it, just saying. So we'll call it near mint in box. Your price on this one, with the fire steel included, $190 like it is, $215 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. The Bark River Bravo 1 Field, natural canvas, green liners, and brass pins. Next up, another Barky. It is a Bravo 1.25. There's a model you don't see very many of. In CPM 3V. So this one comes with what appears to be an ambidextrous sheath, is it? I think it is. Check that out. Yeah, how about that? How about that? Fire steel loop. Might have had the waterproof treatment when it was new. Here you go. 3V blade, 5 inches in length. Orange G10 handle. Ramped and jimped. No liners. Aluminum Corbies. So with your 5-inch blade, you get the standard Bravo handle, 4 13/16. This one I'm going to say is near mint. It has been sharpened, and I would say not particularly well. Okay, so maybe excellent to near mint. Let's see. Let's spin this around the right way. Let's do on this one. How about 160 like it is? 190 with my edge. The Bravo 1.25 in orange G10. Next up in our last Bark River tonight, box has got a little stuff going on. This is a Bravo 1 rampless in black canvas micarta. Comes in the full coverage pancake style sheath. You can go 2 positions vertical, you can go scout. Here you go. Matte finish black canvas. Hard to tell because this had been put away with some storage lube in the sheath for a long time. That's an A2 blade with a lot of honest storage patina. The etch is barely visible, but it is definitely A2. So the rampless Bravo, 4 1/4 blade, 4 13/16 handle, Aluminum Corbies and lanyard tube. I don't think it's been used or sharpened though. If it has, not very much. So we're going to say near mint in box, storage patina noted. Your price $140. Guys, that's a great user Bravo for 140 bucks. $165 if you'd like my edge on it. The Bark River Bravo 1 black canvas and rampless. Next up, this knife I really like. It makes me smile. It's a K-bar. And check this out. Model number is 2225. It's a Mark 1. A fairly recent K-bar, actually. Comes in the USN embossed leather sheath, and frankly, if a guy's going to use this knife, he's probably going to throw that sheath in the box, never use it again, have one made. But check this out. What makes this K-bar different is the full flat grind on the clip point blade. Thin, light, beautiful. Black hardware, stacked leather handle, 1095 blade, 5 1/16 blade, 4 1/4 inch handle, and they're so good. Kind of a stubby guard. But a super nice knife. Let's see, we'll call it near mint to like new in box a little bit. I think there's a little nick in the sheath right there. So these are currently selling at web retailers between 90 and 100 bucks new. We're going to do this one all in, shipped priority mail, $75 like it is, $100 with my edge. That's the K-bar Mark 1. Put you back in your sheath. Talk amongst yourselves. Next up, we have reached the watch portion of tonight's sale. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Here's the first. It's a Citizen. Pretty cool watch if you are into yellow. Haha. Maybe gold or mustard, actually. This is an Anadigi 200-meter diver from Citizen. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how all the functions work. You're going to want to look up the reference number, which is CZJP 1090-86X. Quartz analog and digital movement. Unidirectional 60-click bezel that does line up. 4 pushers, a crown on the left side. We got 44 millimeter diameter, 50.5 lug to lug, 15.5 thick, 23 millimeter lug width. The bracelet actually pretty cool. You got a flip lock, milled center portion, and then ratcheting toolless micro adjust. Kind of an oyster style bracelet. I'm sure they're push pins because that's what Citizen likes to use. Very cool watch. Does have a little bit of desk diving rash on the clasp, but very minimal. But all in all, in very fine shape. We'll call it excellent to near mint. In box with papers. I think this watch has been out of production for a while. Joma Shop had them listed some time ago at $250. Let's do on this one $130 shipped priority mail. The Citizen CZJP 1090-86X Anadigi dive watch. Next up, we got us a Seiko. We do. Comes in this here box, which is a little worse for the wear. The watch. We got a King Turtle, boys. Yes, we do have a king turtle. I had a little interaction with a commenter last time we ran a king turtle. What makes it a king turtle is the 4R36 movement, which hacks and hand winds, the ceramic bezel insert, and then you get the candy bar date magnifier. So we have a cushion case, 45 millimeters in diameter, just 48 lug to lug, so it's going to wear smaller than it would indicate. 13.5 thick, and a 22 millimeter lug width. Factory strap not present, instead it is wearing a strap code. And what do they call this? The J. Louis, which is, because they can't say Jubilee, kind of the heavy J. Louis. I had this strap on my or this bracelet on my Alpinist and loved it. Loved it. Got the waffle dial. This one is running about plus 10, plus 12 a day over the last 24 hours. Got a little bit of wear on the very rim of the bezel, not on the ceramic. And then there's a little hickey right here. But all in all, very, very nice. Do we got any dust diving on the clasp? Very little. So yeah, these are out of stock everywhere, I think. At major retailers anyway. You could find them web price of about $372. I think they had like a $650 MSRP or something. Then I think you'd have about what, $90 in that bracelet. You can buy this whole shooting match for $275. That is the Seiko SRPE03 King Turtle. Next up, G-Shock time, boys. Here's the first one. And some retailer put their sticker over model number. But anyhow, it is a GST-S130BC-1A3CR steel G-Shock. And this would be, they made them in a couple different variants. This one comes with the OD green canvas strap. So black PVD coated stainless steel case, tough solar quartz, no multiband 6, no Bluetooth. Got kind of a sunray black dial, 3 sub registers, all in negative display, but very visible negative display. You got, I think, like an LED light, backlight, but I think the lume's also pretty good. Let's see, 47 diameter, 56 lug to lug, and that's going all the way down to those fixed portions. 16 thick, and of course proprietary strap width, also PVD coated pin buckle. Very, very, very nice watch. Very nice if you like them big. So these are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they were $329 web new. How about we do $135 on this one? Very near mint in box. There might be the slightest wear on the buckle, but that's about it. Next up, it's going to be like deja vu all over again. Another G-Shock. And this one, I think we can actually read the part number. We can. GST-S130BC-1ADR. Same watch as the last one, except this is going to be on a black canvas strap, right? So tough solar quartz, no multiband 6, no Bluetooth, negative display on the 3 digital sub registers, PVD coated stainless steel case, 47 diameter, 56 lug to lug all the way out to there. 16 thick and proprietary bracelet. This one again is in very near mint condition. There might be a little desk wear on the clasp, and that's it. When these were available, they're now discontinued. You could find them at a web price of about $329. This one near mint in box with all the goodies. Let's do 135 with that little pop of orange. No need to sharpen. That's the 1ADR, the black strap G-Shock. Next up, not a watch, but you wear it on your wrist. What? What on earth could it be? Well, it's from Surefire. It's the 2211X variable output LED wrist light. There's your model number. I believe it is a 300 lumen wrist light. So we have a polymer body, battery cap back here. I'm not sure how you vary it, but just kind of a pressure switch on top of it, and it's on a nylon strap. I haven't really worn one of these ever, but I bet it's pretty cool. It's kind of a NATO style strap, although it's not a NATO strap. Anyway, it is in like new in-box condition. Comes with a CR123A battery, 300 lumens, as I said. You buy one of these brand new, it's going to run you 179 bucks. This one, 100 shipped priority mail. That's the Surefire 2211X LED wrist light. All right, back to the knives, boys. And I've got two of these, and you're going to see them listed separately, but I'm only going to show one presentation. It's the Cold Steel Warcraft Tonto. Comes in a Secure-X sheath with removable dangle. And there is a cross strap with a snap. Oh. It's going to be hard to get this on camera because the blade length is 11.5 inches of stonewashed 4034 stainless steel. Kind of a cool stonewash, I think. Hollow ground, primary bevel on the main edge and then flat at the front edge. Ground pretty thin for a knife this size. And we got some, I don't know what they're calling these, some kind of X polymer handle. Full tang construction, exposed tang at the back and a lanyard hole. The handle's 5.5 inches, by the way. What is it a knife? Is it a sword? I don't know. Very, very cool. That can't be right. 11.5 can't be right. I don't think that's right. Let me remeasure that. No, that's right. It just looks like it's about 2 feet long, but it's not. So anyhow, you can buy these brand new on Amazon right now for 153 bucks. This one, like new, in box, and I have two of them, and they will be listed separately so I can keep track of them. Let's do 125 shipped priority mail in a very big box. Shipping is going to be expensive. 165 if you want me to sharpen it. It'll be listed in your inventory as Cold Steel Warcraft Tonto number 1 and number 2, and they're both the same. Both brand new. All right, let's get you back in your little home. There we go. Next up, oh, another big, bad, Cold Steel. It's the Laredo Bowie. Yes, it is. This also is going to come in a Secure-X sheath with removable dangle and a cross strap. Let's make sure the snap works. It does. Okay. A little smudge down here. Oh. Full flat ground 4034 stainless steel. Is that a Krupp's product? It must be. Blade length is 10 7/16. I have a stainless steel one-piece spacer and crossguard. The handle black linen micarta satin finished in the shape of a coffin, as it should be. Condition is like new in box. Right now you can buy these brand new at your favorite web retailer for $239, or you could just buy this one, $150 shipped priority mail, $185 with an TheApostleP Edge. That is the Laredo Bowie from Cold Steel. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Next up, somebody gets a deal here. My consignor bought this knife, took it out of the box, held it in his hand, and went, that's too big. It's a black box Benchmade, and it's a full-size Adamas 275 FE-2. It's going to be in your inventory as 275 FE-2 Adamas OD Crew in the Molly compatible belt pouch, OD green G10, parkerized ambidextrous tip-up deep carry clip, heavy axis lock mechanism. Look at the size of the axis bar and the stop pin. The blade, flat dark earth coated CPM accruwear, Shane Sibber design, 3 3/4 blade, 5 1/8 handle, axis lock mechanism, phosphor bronze washers, and thumb stud deployment. Action is awesome. Lockup is like a bank vault. Centering is dead. Condition, brand new. Like new in box. You want to buy one of these brand new? It's going to run you $293 at your favorite web retailer. This one, $230 like it is, $255 with an TheApostleP Edge. Next day sharpening is available. That is the Benchmade Adamas 275 FE-2. And the last knife in tonight's sale is like an old pair of blue jeans. It's a Benchmade. It's a 940. You know, in my lifetime, there are 3 knives. There's the Buck 110. There's the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And there's the Benchmade 940. Here it is in all of its glory. Green hard anodized aluminum scales. Purple anodized titanium backspacer. This is wearing a parkerized Emerson style clip. S30V reverse Tonto blade. 3 7/16 inches long. Handle 4 7/16. Lockup rock solid. Action free dropping and awesome. Centering perfect. Condition near mint in box. You can buy these brand new now. They've crept up all the way to $216. Benchmade map pricing. Let's do on this one $175 like it is. $200 with my Edge. Benchmade 940. Osborne. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the TheApostleP channel. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.